Hello YouTube, this is Stories from Andrew, and this is the second video of Journey at a Call Center. Just to bring up to speed from my last video, I'm 19, I'm living on my own, and I just started working at this call center. I'd worked at one before, so of course I was looking forward to giving several weeks of learning how to give the greatest customer service experience I possibly can. Now, the room was set up like an F flipped upside down, where there was this wheelchair girl with spina bifida at the end, me in the middle, and Mr. Troll on my left. But not that kind of troll, this kind of troll. Except without the hair. And with a paisley scarf. Fucking paisley scarf. Now, Mr. Troll was a gay man, and he thought that he could connect with me on this basis alone. Unfortunately, he was that kind of gay man. You know, the kind of person whose only unique quality about him is that he's gay. And he would own the shit out of it. I mean, like, he would complain about everything, and aside from all that, he was the most irritating man on the planet. I mean, like, fuck out of here. It's my show. Anyway, he'd always complain about the systems that we were using and how much better they were at this other center that he used to work at. And he'd always try to feed me candy. Like, I would always say no to him, but he'd insist, and then I'd still say no, and then he'd still insist, and he kept on trying to shove the candy down my throat, and I'd still say no. I wasn't the only one that thought this either. One day he didn't show up to work, and everyone started complaining about him as soon as we had our first break. I brought up the candy thing, and this guy says, maybe he just feels like he has to because he's such an unlikable person. And I honestly couldn't think of a better way to put it if I tried. Now, what's worse than working next to somebody that represents everything that you hate is getting stuck with that person on your breaks. Now, out of the class of 20, 3 of us were non-smokers, and that was me, Mr. Troll, and Wheelchair Girl. Now, for whatever reason, this amount of smoker to non-smoker ratio is totally normal at call centers. I swear to God, it's like there's this special check mark that you can only see if you have a certain amount of tar and nicotine in your blood, and if you check it off, then you're guaranteed a job at any call center. And if you don't, then you need to get in the old-fashioned way, if you know what I mean. So he talked to me during our breaks because, well, if you're not a smoker, you don't really have anything to do during a 15-minute break, and he would talk about the most inane things. So I tried to do the old yeah. But he just kept on talking, using the same intonations, with everything he said. And he wore that stupid paisley scarf of his, so the little neck that he did have from all of his fat just sort of like blended in so that he had a head that looked like Peter Griffin. There's a link in the description below that has this particular scene that I'm talking about. Now, Mr. Troll was passionate about 3 things. He loved the casino, he loved his paisley scarf, and he loved Christmas by the sea. Now, one day he wanted to take me there during lunch, and after you eat your lunch, you've got like 20 minutes to do anything, but you don't really have anything to do. And, you know, I didn't want to get stuck by Wheelchair Girl because as bad as Mr. Troll was, Wheelchair Girl was a hell of a lot worse. Don't worry, I'll get to her later. But anyway, he was telling me about Christmas by the Sea, and I had a vague memory of going there once when I was 14. I remember they sold ornaments, and not just Christmas ornaments, but like mini statuettes that you could just have and keep next to your glass counter, or perhaps in your living room, or next to your candy bowl that hasn't had any new candy put in it since it was bought in 1974. And it just goes there and it collects dust, and rather than dust it off, you just go to Christmas by the Sea and purchase more ornaments so that you can look at them and have them while you talk about how bad the dandelions are this year. If I ever get that old, someone please shoot me. So I'm like, isn't that store that just sells useless ornaments? And he's like, it's not useless ornaments, it's nice things. So I decide to give him the benefit of the doubt, but we go into the store, and the first thing out of my mouth after looking around very carefully is, you lied to me! Everything in the store is a useless ornament. I mean, like, just look at this. What are you going to do with this mini Santa statuette in the middle of August? And for $150! And he's like, it's not useless, it's nice things. I mean, just look at this. And I'm like, but that's all you can do, is just have it and look at it, and you lied to me. So, I left. I wasn't actually pissed, I was just looking for a reason to get him to stop liking me and offering candy. So, that's the story about Mr. Troll. If you want to see the story about Wheelchair Girl, you can click right here, if I've already posted it, or you can click right here if you wanted to get to my first video.
It's all interconnected.
Okay, one more time.